Welcome, fair people of YouTube. Today I want to bring you a quick video about Wonderland Dreams. So yeah, basically this will be my first impression after 2 days of playing, and I don't want to go over the entirety of, expansion and what's good, and I cannot tell you that, right? I only had 2 days. I can tell you only what's better or worse in comparison to what we expected before the expansion release, right? So I will link you in the description down below the Excel sheet with scores for cards from me and my buddies with which I did the review. Excuse me, I cannot English today. But yeah, anyway, I want to quickly go over this because I want to give you guys an idea of what's good and what's not. So let's just jump straight into it. I do recommend you check out the review, but you can find it on my Twitch on VODs. I don't know for how long it will be there, but it should be still there. So yeah, let's begin. We'll go bronzes, silvers, and then golds and legendaries. Witch Cauldron is great. Auto-include in every runecraft right now. Even D-Shift tried to play with it, but I would rather not play it in D-Shift. D-Shift is better when it's left to spells. Haunted House, definitely much worse than people expected. Nobody plays it, mostly because nobody plays Shadow. But yeah, I tested it and it was underperforming. So yeah, I do not recommend that card. These are all boring except Dragon Summoner. Okay, so I got a lot of hate for liking this card on the card review. My friends gang upped on me and basically tormented me for liking this card because originally I proposed that you play this in your neutral Dragoncraft when you have Ayala, Sibyl, and these are your only Dragoncraft followers. So with Dragon Summoner you can fetch your ramp, right? But then they pointed out that Dragon Summoner can draw itself, the copy of itself. So that kind of ruined everything, but what's beautiful about this card is that it still draws you a card. It's a 2-mana 1 to draw a card. Like, if you could play Goblin and Insight in one card, I would definitely play that. And I will tell that again, I will say that again, as I said when we had TOTG coming out with Lu. 2-mana minions that draw you cards will always be broken unless they cannot deal damage, alright? So Ding Dong is balanced, Lu is not, Dragon Summoner is not. Dragon Summoner is even worse because it has 2 HP, right? To defense, so people overlook these cards, but just mind my words, guys. I'm gonna say it every single time that 2-mana draw a card minion comes out. They are broken. End of the story. 3-mana 2/3 words, always broken. Grimnir and that blood card that we'll be going over. So yeah, definitely play Dragon Summoner. It's great in both aggro and ramp. Unless you don't want to play 2-drops in ramp, you play this version with Breath of the Salamander, Dragon Oracle, and Dragon Emissary. Then you don't play Dragon Summoner, but Dragon Summoner is better than it would be Ayala or Unica. That's my statement, guys, and you can challenge me on it. I'm open for the discussion in the comment section down below, but yeah, that's what I say. And then, later, we have Toph, that actually people started playing Neutral Blood. Like, I didn't really expect Neutral Blood because we have Spawn of the Abyss archetype, we have Karabos archetype, we have Vengeance archetype, and then we also have Neutral Blood archetype, so I think I like the neutral the most, but I actually haven't played Blood in this expansion yet. This is the only cast I haven't tested, so yeah, I will update you guys on that later. Then we have Temple of Inquisition, which is definitely much better than people expected. I don't imagine running a Lion deck without Temple of Inquisition. It's a great draw in every offensive, like not really offensive, but in every tempo shadow, Heaven I mean, you should be running this, I think, because Elena is simply not enough draw. Not Elena, Sacred Plea. Is simply not enough draw. Then we have Angelic Knight, and I actually managed to persuade my friends that Angelic Knight is a good card, and it will be played in aggressive decks, but it's not. Why? Well, the thing we didn't consider is that Alice Influence will be this powerful that you literally want to play only cards that are synergizing with Alice, and Angelic Knight is not, because it's 3 mana 2/2, low survivability, cannot hide behind the taunt, and also generates only 1 minion on the board. Its comparison right next to it, Goblin Leader, is a 3 mana 1/2. Of course, it's a high priority target, but you can hide it behind the taunt, and it's a high priority target. Like, high priority targets are better than wards, because they act as a ward if you have other minions or your face on pretty high HP, but they can hide behind wards. So yeah, Goblin Leader, Unica, Unica is definitely more powerful than Veteran Lancer. She doesn't enforce the taunt, but she's a so-called soft ward, right? Alright, so Goblin Leader is played more because you generate 2 minions on turn 3. If you are going first and had a 2-drop on turn 2, you trade for your opponent 2-drop, drop your Goblin Leader, on 4 you play Alice, and suddenly your Goblin Leader is a 2-3 drops, right? Because Goblin and Goblin Leader both transform into 2-3, which is a 3-drop. So Goblin Leader, I can see why it's played, and it will be played, guys. Then we have pretty boring cards. Kiss of the Princess, as good as we thought. Disagreeable Demon, we also thought that it would be great, but it's actually even greater. It's an auto-include in Blood. It's one of 3 auto-includes right now, because I believe that you should be including Disagreeable Demon, you should be including Crimson Sabrar, and you should be including Big Knuckle Bodyguard in every single Blood deck. White Tiger, I really was arguing with my team from Disastra team that this card is better than it looks, but it's not. Why? Because there is not really a pure aggro heaven. If we had like aggro heaven, other than neutral heaven or storm heaven, this card would be played in it. I can guarantee it. But we don't have it. So yeah, White Tiger rip. Like, yeah, just that. Flower Princess is... it got overrated. I rated it very highly because I was hyped for it for my Rose Queen deck, but I haven't really... I tried to make Rose Queen work, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's just too complicated. Like, I cannot fit Rose Queen with all the neutral archetypes. I just think that I will have to make pure Rose Queen without Beast, I mean the Beauty and the Beast, without Twin Assault. I will just have to make Forest Rose Queen. I have no idea, guys, but I will keep you updated. Then we have Big Knuckle Bodyguard. Yeah, you definitely want to play it. It's an auto-include, and it's batshit OP. Then what? Bird-Keeping Disciple is played in Storm, Monk of Purification is not really played, and that's the end of commons. Of course, Explosion auto-include in every single deck, especially if you have animated. Then let's go to Silvers. Furtive Fangs, unplayable just as we thought. Actress Feria is included in a lot of neutral decks just because she's good, right? She's a 2 mana 2/2, is neutral and also has a good effect. So definitely played. Into the Looking Glass, again, I stood my ground that it will be played in Forest, and it should be. There is one pure neutral build on Forest that I do not recommend because you lose a lot of great cards. Like, this build doesn't even play Roach. This build doesn't play Wood of Brambles, and I will get to that soon, but you definitely should be playing Into the Looking Glass with, I would say, like 50-50 split between neutrals and forest cards, and Into the Looking Glass as one of the neutrals, or rather 3 of the neutrals. That should usually work out fine. Wood of Brambles is kind of insane, because look at that, it's Fanfare, put 2 fairies into your hand. So basically it's a Fairy Whisperer, 2 mana, gain 2 fairies, but instead of a 1/1 fragile body, that is of course good, but it's just a 1/1, you get for 2 turns Clash, that your fairies destroy any other 1 health minion immediately without dying, or deal 2 damage if they die, right? So this is kind of insane. This is a really good card, And what you really want to do with it is put in every single forest deck and then fill the void with whatever you have. But this card is crazy insane, you have to play it. And yeah, I basically do not imagine forest without this card right now after I playtested it. Also, the interaction, I don't know if it's broken or is that if that's how it's supposed to be, but when this amulet dies, all your minions lose clash. It doesn't say that in text. But yeah, I guess we'll have the. It's not fixed yet, so I guess it's just the problem with translation. If any of you knows Japanese, I would highly appreciate if you leave a comment with the exact Japanese translation. Then we have pretty standard card, nothing unusual. Gingerbread House, as I said, I disagreed with my friends and I'm happy I did. Nobody plays it in the Runecraft decks because it's simply too slow and 2 healing doesn't matter because you are on full HP or you are dying. That's how Runecraft plays. Snowfield Warrior, I didn't like the card, I still don't like the card. I don't play the card, you shouldn't play the card. Nightmare Executioner, I haven't playtested him really, because the only Shadow deck I playtested is full-on aggro Shadow without neutral cards, and then Dark Alice, that its job is to banish your entire deck, and 3 Gilgameshes on the top of the curve. So basically you play aggro, on turn 7 you play Alice, on turn 8 you basically trade your Alice, and then on the following turns, you are guaranteed to draw Gilgamesh every turn. So you can finish off your opponent. That's the idea behind it. I will be still playtesting it. But for now, every single game ended before I drew my Alice. I just killed people on turn 6 with Phantom Howl and Cerberus combo. Illusionist is a sleeper card. I know a person that playtested it a lot. And neutral Runecraft with Illusionist and Sahakiel, or Merlin even. Like, if you Illusionist and Merlin, it's a free spell boost. 5 mana 4/4 spell boost your cards and deal 3 damage. That's not bad. You can also evo the Illusionist, you can evo the Illusion Merlin to gain additional spell boost card. I'm not saying put Illusionist in your D-Shift, but there is potential there. Scarlet Sabrer. Excuse me. Scarlet Sabrer, auto-include. Just as we said, it's just an auto-include. 5 mana Bane, 2 attack, pretty solid HP. Dies to 2-drop Evo though, that's the only downside of this card. But kills 2 drops with its entry effect, so I guess it's balanced. Bandersnatch, as I said, it's bad and you shouldn't play it. Tenko single-handedly reviving Elena. I'm pretty sure we'll see some Elena around this season with Tenko. March Cars Tea Time, definitely good card. I don't really say it's an auto-include in every heaven, but it's good in Storm Heaven. It's basically good in your deck if you have Garuda, because the countdown is really huge on it. So if you have Garuda, definitely play March Cars Tea Time. Like, this on 5 and Garuda on 6, this is unstoppable, this is such a tempo swing. I also play that in my Lion, but only in 2 copies, because I just find Dual Flames better for this particular combo. Lion Champion, Arena card, Sylvan Elder, bad card. Draconic Lens, bad, it's everything here is bad. Hati, not enough for Constructed, but still really good on Arena. And that's it for Silvers. Let's now quickly jump to Golds. Oh, we have really a little of Golds. Elf Twin Assault, really hard to build a deck around. People haven't really mastered that yet, but when someone comes with a great neutral forest build that is not too neutral, we'll have a great deck. And this is still great card, even if you play the not optimized version of the forest with neutral splash, or if you play full on neutral forest. So yeah, definitely make use of this card, it's great. Maisie is very good, but we still don't see much Sword on ladder, I don't know why. So neutral Sword is probably the best neutral deck, and we don't see that much of Maisie. Rapunzel was underrated, I have to say that, but she's still not really good. I would say that Instead of 3, I would give her 3.5, but I don't even remember if I didn't give her a 2. You will have to see on the spreadsheet I link you down in the description. Lilac, auto-include in every forest. Just that. Its clash effect is insane and you play that. Dramatic Dragon Blader, I still love that card, but it's bad, alright? I was defending it, but it's not really a good card. If we have something like Evo Dragon, then 3 mana 5/6, because this is basically 3 mana 3/4 with Ward. This is what this is. And you evolve it, it gains Rush. Well, it doesn't have Rush naturally, but you kill the dragon, right? So if you evolve it, it just kills the dragon. So this is basically a 3 mana... How to say it correctly? This is a 3 mana 3/5/1 ward that evolve effect says gain 5 HP and Rush. I would play that card if it was a thing, but this is a bit worse, because without Evo your opponent has choices of what to do with the dragon, right? Red Rage Worm, I tested it, trust me guys, it's not good. It's not good, you don't really wanna be playing this. And yeah, also I really apologize for the green screen that is not working correctly in the background, but during the recording my light changed and I don't really want to live fix that right now, so it will just go there. Lethal Blade, but Fairy Driver insanely good, really, just give it a try guys, Fairy Driver is so good. You play that as basically your fairies turn into 2 damage spells, your fairies turn into Blood Wolves that do not harm you. Like, this is crazy, Fairy Driver is great. Hector, underplayed, I really hope that he will see some more play. The White Witch Swordsman is pretty bad, but I still love him. If he was a commander, maybe it would be better. I actually would see him being a commander. Council of Carnites, playable, very good. You should play it in your neutral sword. Master Mage Levi, pretty much what expected. He rolls just as the Levi should. Then we have Odile and Odette, and my friends convinced me to give them the same rating. I wanted to give Odette a higher rating. I wanted to give Odile a 3 and Odette a 4. And they brought me down to giving both a 3. But I regret that I let them do that, because Odette is simply better. Odette is a 6/3, I mean 5/3, and Odette is playable in Elena. Odile is not really good. I mean, 2 damage AoE is hardly meaningful. Like, on turn 6 it's meaningful. Maybe a bit sooner or something, but I do not recommend playing Odile, and if you want to play Elena, definitely play Odette. Other than that, there is Esmeralda or Emeralda. She's crazy insane, definitely an auto-include in Vengeance decks. Vengeance decks should go a bit towards the mid-range right now. A bit slower decks without like Devil of Vengeance, maybe with Revelation, maybe without Succubus. Still aggressive, but not as aggressive as, for example, Neutral Sword. So yeah, Emeralda is great, definitely save yourself some copies of her. Probably she will be played like 2 copies in every deck of Vengeance, but no more. And then we come to the best, the legendaries. We actually have only 1 page of legendaries. Fairy Dragon, most underestimated legendary of this expansion. I tested him in my token forest, and turn 3, 2 mana 2/4 Taunt is good. Turn 4, 2 mana 4/4 Ward is also pretty good. So yeah, it gives you a lot of tempo in the early game, protects your fairies, sets you up for the insane Wind Gods, Cynthias. Definitely you should play the Fairy Dragon in your token decks. I'm actually really happy I opened 2 of them. I had to craft the 3rd one, but Fairy Dragon is great, guys. Princess Snow White, pretty much what we expected it to be. Auto-include in every single Heaven deck. Cinderella, I only have 1 copy, so I didn't get to play a lot with her. But I also am not really interested in Neutral Sword, but I see it in action, and Cinderella is definitely good in that deck. And since Neutral Sword is basically the only sword you play right now, Cinderella is something you should invest in if you want to play Sword. Abomination Awakened is pretty good in this shift. Basically there are two combinations. Either you play a lot of draw spells and then you play Abomination Awakened and then you go into Fate's Hand. That should awaken it on turn 5 or 4. I think turn 5, yeah, it awakens it on turn 5. But if you play on turn 2 Enchanted Library, and then on 3 Abomination, and then on 4 you evolve your Merlin, you actually awaken the Abomination on turn 4. And that's really good. I actually play 2 copies of Merlin, 2 copies of Abomination, and 2 copies of Enchanted Library in my D-Shift, and it's consistent. With all the insights and, you know, correct mulligan, with going second, because you have to go second to pull off this combo. So if you go second, you can try to pull it off. If you go first, you just forget about it and get it like later, just, you know, in the game. Wait, let me try to light this light. I know it's a bit late because we are balls deep in the video, but maybe it will help a bit with the green screen. Nope, it didn't help. It looks terrible. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. But let's continue on, we are almost about to finish the video. I will skip Alice for now, we'll talk about her last. We have Wizardess of Oz, which basically enabled aggressive rune archetype. I love this card, I love it for bringing rune back to life. And I wouldn't call rune tier 1, it's definitely tier 2. But it's a good card and you can definitely reach High Master with that. Beauty and the Beast. The same story as the Twin Assault. The card is stupidly powerful, but how do you build a deck around it? Like, we need to figure it out first, and then we can truly judge the card. But from what I've been playing, my test with Rose Queen, Into the Looking Glass, and stuff like that, I pulled off some Beauty on the Beast on turn 6 with Evo, and a 9-10 that cannot be destroyed or damaged by spells is unstoppable. It's a single-handedly win condition. Opponent just concedes because they cannot remove Beauty and the Beast and you need literally 2 turns to kill them. So yeah, kind of insane. Caraboss the Wicked Fairy. As you can see, I don't have a single copy. I actually opened 200 packs and Caraboss was my first go-to, like, that was the card I was excited the most about this expansion, but now I kind of see that it may be too slow. I mean, Caraboss is insane in value games, but against neutrals you don't play value games. You can play standard control blood with Spawn of the Abyss, that we'll talk about soon, and you will have better results because you don't need this draw, you don't need to limit yourself to 6 mana, when you can destroy them anyway because neutral decks run out of cards extremely quickly. So, speaking of Spawn of the Abyss, it's a second archetype of blood, and yeah, card is crazy. I'm not sure if I call it OP, but if you play Baphomet into turn 6 Spawn of the Abyss, into turn 7 Evo Face, that's 16 damage. On 7 you have plenty of Stormers, you have Alucard, you have Emeralda, you have Soul Dominator. You can basically OTK on turn 7. That's, like, till now, the only deck that did that was D-Shift, right? And you needed a Great Hand or the Blade Mage and Enchanted Sword version. So yeah, I would rather recommend the Vengeance archetype still, or neutral archetype. This seems to be the best. You can play neutral archetype with Spawn of the Abyss, that's also an option. And yeah, Dark Alice, I probably told you guys about the archetype that I played with basically full on aggro Shadow with only Shadow cards, and then on top of the curve you play Dark Alice and Gilgamesh. And the goal is to put on as much pressure as you can on the early game, then drop Alice. If she gets killed or traded, or if you trade her, you banish your entire deck except Gilgamesh, so you are guaranteed to draw 3 Gilgameshes in a row. And you know, with 3 Gilgameshes in a row, you are pretty likely to finish your opponent off, especially with Undying Alice on the board. So I thought that concept is really fun, and I played similar decks in Magic, so I'm pretty sure that this archetype is definitely going to work. The question is if we go full on Shadow and banish our entire deck, or do we go for some more of a neutral deck? I like the Shadow and banish your entire deck idea a bit more, because it guarantees you the Mordekais, the Gilgameshes. Then we have Lion of the Golden City, and I called this card Daria of the Expansion. And people laughed when I said that I am going to play this with Dual Flames. And I am so confident in that deck that after I win today's tournament, I will be the one laughing. I am bringing Lion Heaven. I'm pretty sure that it will do well. I believe that the tournament will start right after this video uploads, so maybe you will be able to catch me streaming, because I will be streaming my games. Then we have Jabber's Walk. That's really hard card to talk about, because it's an RNG card, it's not consistent. Then we have Verm, and actually I haven't seen Jabber Walk at all. Nobody plays it. I saw a bit of Verm, God of the Skies, and I would say that card is pretty solid, nothing particularly strong. Fun fact, if you evolve something, the evolve actually grants you +2/+2 additionally to your original +2/+2 if you have the Verm God effect in play. And yeah, generally my opinion on Dragon is that as long as you ramp, you are doing it right. Either you want to play like Forte Urt Forte, Forte Urt Forte OTK, or you want to play, you know, Zeus, you want to play Gilgamesh, you want to play Genesis Dragon, or you want a bit more defensive with Sahakiel, Bahamut, and Lucifer and Zeus, like this version. Sure, alright. Even if you want to play Queen of the Dread Sea, which is by the way a great card, you can play that. As long as you ramp, you will not go wrong. That's how powerful ramp is in card games. That's basically cheating time, and time is what you need in card games. So yeah, definitely try ahead Worm God if you have here. Definitely try Queen of the Dread Sea. And also another fun idea with Queen of the Dread Sea is that I actually realized that this costs down your entire card from the non-neutral, and of course one neutral, but I'm talking about non-neutral. And I thought, you know, everyone was thinking Dragon, but I tried to think outside of the box, and you know what I thought? D-Shift. And now you ask, but why play D-Shift when, I mean, with the Queen of the Dread Sea, when D-Shift is perfectly fine finishing games before 10-10? Daria D-Shift. You basically play Daria, you play standard Daria deck with full-on, you know, Daria list. You cut some spells, well, not all the spells, but you cut some cards away to put in some neutrals, and by neutrals I mean Sahakiel and Israfil. Then, on turn 10, if you haven't won by Daria yet, because there is a pretty good odds you didn't even draw your cards of the top card, right? Of the top curve. Or if you drew them, you can just Daria them away if you don't like them. And if you cannot win with Daria, because you are playing versus Heaven or something like that, on turn 10, you drop Queen of the Dread Sea, you cost down to 0 your Israfil and D-Shift, you drop Israfil, you drop D-Shift, that's 19 damage burst. If you have Evo, it's 21. I just want you guys to think about it for a second and maybe try it out. I actually am really bad Daria player. I'm not really a Daria player, so I couldn't make the list work, but I hope that there is some Daria player that will actually make it work. And yeah, if you accept this challenge, leave a comment down below so I can mention you on my stream. And yeah, with that said guys, that's my first impression. If I had to talk about decks and tiers, probably tier 0 would be the Lion Heaven, tier 1 would be Neutral Sword, Token Forest, what else? Probably Spawn of the Abyss control deck, and still Ramp Dragon. Tier 2 would be Burn Rune, any other neutral deck that is not Sword, any other Heaven deck that is not Lion Sword, I mean Lion Heaven, and something like Karabos Blood. Also tier 1 is Vengeance Blood. I think that Vengeance Blood is the best. Vengeance Blood with Spawn of the Abyss or without it, it's probably the best archetype. Also Neutral Blood. You'd see there are 4 blood archetypes, right? Neutral, Vengeance, Control, and Karabos. And I cannot decide which one is the best because I haven't played with Blood this expansion yet, but I would probably vote for Control and Neutral. Or Vengeance and Neutral. I really cannot decide, guys, but I will definitely try Vengeance Blood soon. And yeah, every other deck is probably low tier. You see that Forest is not included in this, except for my token list. That's because I haven't seen a single Forest on the ladder. Nobody is playing Forest. The only Forest I saw was the net deck from Game Press of full-on neutral Forest. Like, you play the Beauty and the Beast, you play Twin Elf Assault, and you play Roach. Every single other card is neutral. And I found that deck so bad, like, I haven't lost to it yet. It's just a really weak deck, and I don't recommend you playing that. It's tier 2, it's just another neutral deck, not Sword. That's exactly what I meant when I said that every other neutral deck is tier 2. So yeah, if you want to try and invent a good Forest deck, I would recommend looking into the Looking Glass. That card should probably help you a lot, because there are just too many good Forest cards to give up the entire Forest class just to play Beauty of the Beast and... Beauty and the Beast and the Twin Assault. Alright, so we will wrap up this video here. If you have any questions, if you have any predictions, feel free to speak in the comments. And also, yeah, fun story, I opened 10 Queen of the Dread Sea. 9 normal and 1 animated. It's my only animated legendary from this set, which I'm really sad about. So yeah, guys, feel free to check out my stream, because this is probably the thing I am focusing most on right now. And yeah, I will link you the sheet of the Excel in the description. That's also something you might wanna check out, to see how people predicted cards, and you know. There is a... I believe that the name will be This Card Review, and that's the card review I've done on my Twitch channel with Team Disastra. So yeah, peace out, guys.